Good morning, everyone. It's Kate Kaltoff. Welcome. We are doing a Facebook Live, and this is about an hour earlier normally than what I would do a Fab Friday Facebook Live, but there's good reason for that. I've got a busy day and a busy weekend coming up, so I needed to get it done. And I'm very excited to show you this. I was kind of tempted almost to go on yesterday and do this Fab Friday yesterday, but I couldn't do that. We had a demo meeting last night, so Thursdays on a demo meeting day are super busy as I'm prepping everything last minute. And it was a little earlier than what we normally do a demonstrator meeting for the month, just because reports hadn't even closed yet, so I was kind of looking at some old stats. But I did figure out who my top 10 were, and I actually made this card for my top 10 downline in sales. I always try to do a little something special for my top 10. So the card that you're going to see today using the Signs of Santa bundle is my top 10 card that I passed out last night to my top 10 or put in the mail today. So I'm excited to show you this. I've actually gotten swap cards in the past. Oh, I don't know how many years I've had the same design kind of come in and out of my office, but I never took the time to actually figure out exactly how they did it. I thought, oh, this is too complicated. And usually when I'm trying to make a card, it's like all last minute. I'm hardly ever at leisure, and I never like to figure out anything too complicated. And I'm sure some of you can relate to that. However, I actually took this card with me when I was on a little retreat, and I decided to actually figure out how to make it. And it was easy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I put this off for so long, because it's actually a super easy card to make. Here is the card we're going to make, and it's absolutely super beautiful. And it's going to be really handy because it's one of those cards you can put together quite quickly once you know the dimensions and actually the how-tos. So the front uses the little stamp that says, wishing you everything on your list. And then when you open it up, there's a little part that comes upward. And when you bring it upward, it says, and more, which is so super cute. So wishing you everything on your list and more. And then this section here is where you can put a gift card. So that works out super nice. So you can see how this works. You just lift it up, and there's our gift card. So it's kind of a cool little gift card holder. All right, let me show you what we're using today. This is the bundle called Signs of Santa. Of course, there's a few things missing. I have some in the other room where I was using it for my demonstrator meeting the other night. And then I have the little one that cuts out Mrs. Claus. I have that one here. The actual framelits themselves are on back order. However, the bundle is not. So if you're purchasing the bundle, I think it all comes together at one time. And then we are also using, you might have noticed, we have a couple of shapes here. A circle that Mrs. Claus is on and an oval. And that comes from our stitched shape framelits. I use these framelits quite a lot, as you've probably noticed, and they're beautiful. Let me bring it up to the camera so you can see. They have a little bit of stitching on the outside, which just really ups the elegance of these particular framelits. I love them. Just run them through the Big Shot and you've already got that stitching. I remember years back, before we had anything like this, I would sit there and try to make little stitch marks with a pen. Some people who are a little more talented could do it with a sewing machine, not me. But even on curves, that would be a little difficult. I had a little more success doing the hand stitching with a pen on straight edges. I could have never done it on a curve. All right, so let's move this out of the way. And oh, I do want to show you this paper because this card goes together so quickly because of the Specialty Designer Series paper. And it's flocked. Flocked means it has something that feels a little bit like felt on it. And so, like little Mrs. Claus's apron here is actually a little felt apron, and it is so cute and it feels so fluffy and fuzzy. I just love it. And so almost every one of these papers has a flocked piece to it. So we have, of course, these all coordinate with the die cuts, so you can cut out even the signs, the little gifts, the wagon, the elves, Mrs. Claus. It's just adorable. Here we have some snowmans, and these can actually work really well just as cutting out with these larger circles. So you could take an image like this, using the stitch shape framelit circle works really well. So just imagine all the different pieces you could put on the front of this card. Just suit it to the person that you're giving to. We have some lovely pine trees here, a whole little, these would be cute along the bottom edge of a card. You know how I like to decorate the inside panel. That would be adorable. And then of course we're also using this paper here, the back side for the bottom. And then here's some more cute images, and then a flocked piece that's kind of the candy cane stripes, which we're using on the front of the card. Just love that piece. Some bows in the back, and then of course Santa's sleigh, Santa in an easy chair, some little elves. These are bigger where you could actually hand cut some of those, but I do believe there's one where Santa's holding a list that actually has a die cut for that. And then a bunch of little candy canes on the back. So this is a super awesome designer series paper pack. I'm not sure if it's on back order. There's quite a few things right now from the holiday catalog on back order, but most of them are due to come in about the 15th of October, which is only in 10 days. So not a terrible long wait. So let's go ahead and get started with this. We've got to start with the piece that our card base is on, and this is cut the long way. So it's an 8.5 by 11 cut the long way. So you're going to cut it to 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and then you're going to score it at 2 inches and 7.5. And then what we're going to do is just fold up those score lines. Let me grab my bone folder so we can get a nice press. And this is the card right here. So it looks like this, and then you'll open it like this. All right. And the next thing we're going to do is put down that designer series paper that I've cut and got ready for you in advance. The first piece goes on the bottom here. It's 3 3/4 by 4 inches. And we're just going to put that on with a little multi-purpose liquid glue. So we can just wiggle that into place and it will fit perfectly. So wiggle, wiggle, and that is done. Then the top part, the top flap, gets this candy cane stripe piece. This is 3 1/4 by 4 inches. And so let me go ahead and, again, we're just going to use some multi-purpose liquid glue on the back here and put this down. This flocking is really fun. I know it doesn't show up very well on the camera, but for those of you that ordered my product shares, you already know how adorable this is, or maybe you've already got your Santa's Workshop paper. But if you don't, it's a really cute one to get, and it's kind of fun to get the bundle with it. I'm usually not too impressed with what they call cute stamp sets, but I really, really like this one. I liked it the minute I saw it, and I think it works perfect for giving gift cards at Christmas. And so many of us don't buy things anymore. We'd prefer to give experiences, such as a coffee shop card where people can go in and have coffee with their friends, and you're the one paying for it as your Christmas gift. So this is just an awesome idea, and you can use a lot of different shapes on this, just to or a lot of different cutouts straight with the designer series paper. And then when the designer series paper is gone, you still can go ahead and stamp your images and cut them out with the coordinating framelits, and coloring them with the Stampin' Blender pens goes pretty quickly. All right, so then let's go ahead and get our shapes from the Big Shot machine. And this is how I did it. I used my magnetic platform. I used my very well used cut plate, as you can see. And then I have my papers down. Here's the little framelit. Well, and then I ran it through with one more cut plate over the top. Look at this little cutie here. Just cuts out so perfectly with that little die shape from Mrs. Claus. And then we've got our 2 pieces here. So this is again from the stitch shape framelits. We've got our circle image, and then we've got our, our adorable little oval shape. All right. Okay, so what you want to do is stamp your oval shape, and you would stamp it with the sentiment that says, wishing you everything on your list. And I did pre-stamp this because I'm actually getting ready for a big event that my downline and I do, and I've got everything. If you saw my house, you would just croak. Everything is so scattered and mixed up, so I don't even know where my ink pad is for this ink. But what I would use if I had it readily available is It's called Tuxedo Black Memento ink, because that won't terribly stain your dye. If you're kind of using black, you wouldn't want to use the Stays On Black, because that would really stain your photopolymer. So I pre-stamped this with the Tuxedo Black ink, and it's ready to go on my card. And so to do that, I'm going to use some cotton ribbon here, and this is just our Whisper White cotton ribbon from our regular annual catalog. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot to put the insert in. Let me get that, because that is actually the next step. We don't want to miss that. So this Whisper White insert is 3 3/4 by 7 inches, and then I've scored it at 2 inches and 6.5 inches. And I know this is probably the most important measurement for this entire card, so just leaving it up here a second for those of you that want to jot it down, or you can rewatch the video, whichever you choose. But what we're going to do is we're going to fold back this little 1/2 inch piece, because that's what's going to be attached at the top of the card. And then we're going to fold up this bottom piece, because that's where we would put our gift card, had we a gift card to put here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this top flap and open it up, and we're going to take this little 1/2 inch piece, and we're going to just line it up right here at the bottom. See how that can flip over? And we want to make sure that it is centered in here. So we've got just a little bit showing here and a little bit showing there. We're going to take some glue, and remember, this is right at the crease mark. We're going to take some glue. Glue is really good because it will hold really well. So we're just going to give that a second to set there, and then we're just going to close this, and we're going to give it a little press, and then we're just going to give it a couple of moments, and then I'll show you how this works. I do want to give the glue a second to adhere so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so now when we open it up, what happens is this little glued in area pulls up the gift card. Whoops, except it's not quite dry. I did that a little too enthusiastically, so let me put this on here again. It will be dry now because I can really feel it gripping. Yeah, all right, sorry about that. Okay, so trust me, now it pulls up like this and it works perfectly. So let me just show you how that is. So we're just gluing it to the top panel like this. You could also go from this direction. I like doing it from this side because then I just close it and I know that it's good. Or you can do it from this side. But that's how that works. So you get your little gift card opening. All right, now we can go ahead and put that ribbon on, and as I mentioned, it's just the Whisper White cotton ribbon from the annual catalog from Stampin' Up. Just gonna put it on with a little Scotch tape just because it's so nice and easy to do it that way. And then we're gonna flip this around. And again, we're just gonna grab a scissors here. I've got a little ribbon scissors, my paper snips. Cut that about even with that other side. And then we'll just add a little Scotch tape here too. There we go. So we have our ribbon wrap. Now we're going to say, wishing you everything on your list. We're going to put that on with dimensionals. If I can find the right size here. Here we go. Ooh, brand new set of dimensionals. So I'm actually putting 4 dimensionals on this little oval. I want to make sure that if I have any tape showing that it's not going to be lifting up too easily in that area. Or sometimes too, when you have tape, dimensionals don't stick as well to it, so I just want to be sure that everything is going to stick really well. Then I'm going to bring this in here so I can sort of see what I'm doing. And we're just going to set this right here in the center at the bottom. And I think that looks pretty good. Give that a little press, and there we have it. Now we are going to take our little Mrs. Claus, and there she is looking all adorable. We're going to take off the dimensionals, and we're going to center that in. Well, actually, we're going to take the dimensionals off the circles that I have here. And I'm a little worried because I just realized that I need to stamp and more on the inside, and I don't know where my ink is. There may be some in my little turn tray. I have a turn tray by my desk. No, of course, all I've got here is, shoot, all I've got here is my jet black ink. I don't have any tuxedo black, so I may just forego that. I'll do a pretend stamp for you. Okay, so I just put the circle right dead in the middle, and then I'm going to put Mrs. Claus, and remember she's on dimensionals as well. I'm going to set her right here. And now, were I to have an ink pad, just pretend that I do. Here's my StazOn, but I don't want to use StazOn, so we'll flip this out. Well, I don't even know what to do. You know what? I'm just going to pretend that right here is my ink pad. So I'm just going to pretend, okay? So I'm inking it up, and this says "and more." I'm going to open this up, and where I would put this on the inside is right here. I'd stamp "and more" right there. It's invisible ink today. And then we go ahead, and when we close it, the "and more" goes underneath. So when they open it up, it says "wishing you everything on your list," and then "and more" in invisible ink today. All right, so that's it. There's really nothing else to it. Here's the card I've just made. Here's the card I made in advance with the non-invisible ink. And this is where, of course, you'd put your gift card. So I'll just grab the gift card out of here, pretend there's one here, and put it here. So it's so cute. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I truly appreciate showing you these quick little videos. Okay, so they're not so quick, but I truly appreciate sharing this with you on Fab Friday. On Monday, I'm going to do a Make It Monday, and it's going to be really fun, so be sure you tune in. But meanwhile, you have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Have a super weekend. Bye-bye.